Today on Top of the Hour.
Our Campaign 08 coverage continues as Republican presidential candidate John McCain suspends his campaign because of the national economic crisis. Find out why McCain and Democratic candidate Barack Obama will be meeting with President Bush on Thursday.
Plus, a former American Idol contestant finally admits to his sexuality. We'll have the story about his coming out on our entertainment segment.
Yeah, you won't be surprised. Top of the Hour is next on your CUTV. Both presidential candidates from this year's election are meeting with President Bush to discuss a proposed Wall Street ballot. John McCain and Barack Obama accepted the invitation to discuss the $700 billion ballot with the president and congressional leaders at the White House. Bush's administration proposed having the Treasury Department buy up to $700 billion in firms' troubled assets, whose values declined as the housing market fell. The plan's goal is to stabilize the companies and prompt them to lend again. Both McCain and Obama agreed that the bailout plan was flawed, but that the effort to protect America's economy must not fail. This past Wednesday, McCain announced he would suspend his campaign to participate in negotiations in Washington. This means he would miss Friday's presidential debate with Obama. Barack Obama said the debate in Mississippi should go forward and that a president should be able to deal with more than one thing at a time. McCain's running mate Sarah Palin stated that the country could be headed for another Great Depression if Congress fails to come up with a solution.
A Florida man has been executed after the shooting of two young sisters in the head and raping and shooting their mother. Richard Henyard was convicted for the death of 7-year-old Jamila Lewis and her 3-year-old sister Jasmine on January 13, 1993. Henyard and a younger accomplice carjacked Dorothy Lewis and her daughters outside a grocery store in the central Florida town of Eustis. Henyard, then 18, raped Lewis and then shot her multiple times at close range, but she survived. He then participated in the shooting deaths of her daughters after they cried out for their mother. Lewis, who talks about her ordeal as a pastor and motivational speaker, has not responded to emails or telephone calls seeking comment on Henyard's pending execution. Lewis says, "Today, I can truly say that I am no longer a victim, but I am victorious through the love of God."
On to more of our Campaign 08 coverage. Friday's presidential debate won't be the only event John McCain may be missing. This time, David Letterman called out the Republican nominee. McCain was scheduled to appear on an episode of The Late Show, but canceled at the last minute. McCain apparently called Letterman and said he had to race to the airport. During The Late Show, Dave cut to live footage of John McCain getting his makeup done for an interview with Katie Couric.
And he was nice enough to call me on the phone and said he was racing back to Washington.
Yeah.
And now we've just been told, here, take a look. Do we have it on the thing? This is going live. There he is right there. Well, let's just punch up Katie Couric's interview. And Keith, you can go back to wherever you came from. Let's just see what he has to say here. This will be interesting. I wonder if he'll mention me. Hey, John, I got a question. You need a ride to the airport?
A Philadelphia landlord is being accused of secretly videotaping his female tenants for several years. Thomas Daly of Phoenixville is accused of wiretapping, invasion of privacy, and criminal use of communications device. Police say they found cameras behind mirrors, in cabinets, and ceiling fans. Hidden cameras and audio equipment were found in the bedrooms, bathrooms, and living rooms of at least 3 apartments he owned. Altogether, 16 apartments have been searched or are in the process of being searched. Montgomery County District Attorney Risa Furman says Daly had such an elaborate system set up that when someone in the apartment would activate a light switch or ceiling fan, he was able to retrieve the audio images or audio via the internet. No camera were found in apartments currently rented by men. Furman says police were getting numerous calls from former female tenants about the arrest and expect to find more victims.
People throughout Lawton are rushing to the gas pumps to fill up with what now seems like a cheap $3.25 per gallon. Just don't plan on going on a cruise anytime soon. The price of meals on cruises is usually included in the basic price of the trip. Royal Caribbean will be testing the idea of charging for premium steaks in its main dining rooms. Industry watcher Cruise Critic says Royal Caribbean is levying $14.95 per person for a 10-ounce Black Angus steak. The good news is there will be a smaller free steak available to diners on the ships. Cruise Critic says the development has caused an explosion of anger on their message boards, and members are clearly not happy.
An intoxicated woman is being charged with driving under the influence after she, get this, drove through a fence onto a small airport runway in Tampa, Florida. Kathy Lou Wilcox drove her car through a 6-foot fence at the entrance to Vandenberg Airport, causing more than $12,000 in damages. Authorities say she drove up to the airport's closed gate, stopped her car, and then drove through the fence, which is marked with a no trespassing sign. Wilcox then drove onto the runway, and airport officials boxed her vehicle in and called the sheriff's office. No airplanes were damaged. Now let's take a look at this week in entertainment. 29-year-old former American Idol runner-up Clay Aiken has finally admitted to being gay. The multi-platinum recording artist and Broadway star acknowledges his sexuality in an interview with People magazine. Aiken appears on the cover of the latest issue holding his infant son Parker Foster, who was conceived by in vitro fertilization, with friend and producer James Foster. GLAAD, or the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, applauded Clay for making the decision and setting an example for others. American Idol judge Simon Cowell said it was a shock, like being told Santa Claus isn't real. He also mentioned it's 2008. Who cares?
60-year-old Aerosmith lead singer Steven Tyler is suing a group of unknowns for impersonating him and his girlfriend on 2 internet blogs. Tyler claims the cyber pranksters have been stealing the couple's identity. The singer claims the bloggers posted pictures and intimate details about his private life. Tyler says they took it too far when they mentioned his mother, who recently passed away. Google removed the sites last December, but they somehow reappeared on the web.
That's all the time we have for today's show of Top of the Hour. We do have some reminders for Cameron students as well as Lawton residents. The 29th Annual International Festival will be held this weekend at a brand new location. Lawton Arts and Humanities Council's International Festival Committee and the City of Lawton will be launching the festival at Elmer Thomas Park on 3rd and Ferris. There will be room for more attractions, parking, additional electrical and water sources, shuttle bus transportation, and restroom facilities. Come out to the International Festival this weekend and get a chance to personally explore multiculturalism.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. I just hope they have Puerto Rican food this year. I was disappointed last year.
Oh, no.
Plus, the Aggie volleyball team will be playing Midwestern State at home on Thursday night. There will also be a t-shirt swap, so if you're an Aggie sports fan, come out to the Aggie gym at 7. If you can't make the game, go to goaggies.cameron.edu and click on the Aggie Video Network icon. You can listen to play-by-play commentary on complete statistics throughout the whole match. I believe the broadcast will be starting at 6:55 p.m.
And also make sure you visit youtube.com and check out all our CUTV programming. This semester, just type in CUInternetTV with no spaces, and you'll see this show as well as the Film Geek Show and our CU Sports Show in the Huddle. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brooke Whiteley.
And I'm Cecilia Ramirez. Join us next week for coverage on the International Festival and Cameron's Convocation on Friday. If you're on campus, tune in at the top of the hour, every hour.